somebody followed me and
wow.
like walked in.
Literally like our sugar mama.
We let everybody in Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like, that's me. Like, that's literally me up there.
Yeah.
So,
I'm at Mississippi. Okay, one more time.
and people don't really talk about like the lows.
Yeah. What would you say to them right now?
It's gonna sound so bad, but I really don't care.
Welcome to Season 2 of Softball Speakeasy. If you're new here, my name is Kelly Torres, and I'm a former Duke softball player turned pro. If you're not new here, you may be wondering where the heck is my fabulous co-host, Rain Wilson? Well, Rain spends half the year working and traveling as a tour guide, exploring all parts of the world. Don't worry, she will be back. But in the meantime, I will be taking you week by week of my first professional season through the eyes of myself and fellow teammates. In Season 1, we followed the Duke 2024 softball run that ended in the World Series. In Season 2, we will be following the Texas Monarchs campaign in the Women's Professional Fast Pitch League. Today, I am met with Brylie St. Clair. Woo! How are you, Brylie?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm super excited to have you as our first guest for Season 2 of Softball Speakeasy. We'll be talking SEC experience, the differences of pro ball and college ball, NIL deals, and maybe some fun behind-the-scenes softball stories. Who knows? So be sure to keep on listening. So to kick off this episode, I want to start digging into the college experience. How was Mississippi State or being a softball player in the SEC?
Right. So my experience kind of starting with the recruitment process and ending up at Mississippi State, I verbally committed when I was 15. So very early, everything was like different then, like the recruitment process was. Luckily, I'd never had any second guesses. I knew that I always wanted to go to Mississippi State. So yeah, just getting to spend my childhood really like working up to play for the coaches and to play for the university. I love Mississippi State. I'm an Alabama girl through and through, but Mississippi State really just welcomed me with open arms. I love the fan base. I was able to play 5 years there and grow my personal brand. So I'm really appreciative that they, let me do that and were so supportive of that. But yeah, I mean, it was just, I was living the dream really.
Yeah, and for those who aren't Bulldogs, what would we not know about Mississippi State? What is something unique that only if you lived it, you would know it?
Okay, so there is a tradition with the cowbells, and you are not allowed to buy your own cowbell, but somebody has to buy you a cowbell and gift it to you.
And then you can bring that to like sporting events?
Yeah, you can bring it to all outside sporting events.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Who are your guys' rivals? I feel like I don't.
Definitely Ole Miss.
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
For like every sport?
Oh, absolutely. It gets so heated. It's crazy.
I guess for Duke, our rival's UNC, but like it would be like for softball, maybe FSU. Do you guys have like a softball one?
I think it's still Ole Miss.
Ole
Just
Miss?
that in-state rivalry.
Yeah, I could see that. So how would you describe your team this past year?
This past year, honestly, it was such a blessing to be around those girls and to form the connections and relationships that I got to have with those girls. I definitely think they're going to be in my lives forever. And I really couldn't have asked for a better group of girls for my last year.
Yeah, that's awesome. So to get into more of your time at Mississippi State, I kind of thought of a new segment we could run called Memory Lane. So Anthony Eschet, I could be butchering your last name. He's an awesome guy who's put some deals in with Brylie. We will talk about later. But he asked, what is the most memorable game you've ever played in, and what is your favorite moment?
Okay, so the easy answer to this question would be when we hosted the Super Regional against Arizona, and just that whole fan experience, packing news, and that was really the first time that I felt, I don't want to say that like Mississippi State softball was important, but people made Mississippi State softball a priority. The regional at Florida State, we went down there and got in the loser's bracket instantly, came all the way back and took 2 games from them in the championship. That was also a top 2 moment for me. But I have to say, the most memorable moment would be this past season when weekend after weekend we were selling out the stadium.
Wow.
And we were, 2,000 tickets. This year was the first year that Mississippi State sold tickets. So, people just like investing in our program and coming and believing in the work that we put in, because, they don't see us getting up at 6 in the morning to go run and work out and, coming back and practicing after we have classes and tutoring and study hall, and then going to tutoring and study hall after practice. So they don't see that, but, really investing in us and coming out and supporting us, and just having those sellout weekends was just awesome to see.
Yeah. Later in this episode, we're going to kind of touch on the differences of like the workouts in college versus pro ball. But we're not done with memory lane. So what was your favorite defensive play you've ever had individually?
Okay, so my sophomore year, we played Tennessee, and I made Sports Center. So that is probably my most like noticed play was my Sports Center play. I think it was like, I don't know, it was top 5. I don't remember what
We're
number.
going to have to plug it in.
Yeah, I was actually sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings in Starkville. And I was watching the Sports Center like highlights or whatever, and I am a huge Bryce Harper fan. Fun fact, I named my first dog after Bryce Harper. She's a golden doodle. Her name is Harper, and I still have her. So huge Bryce Harper fan. We were sitting there, we were watching Sports Center, and I'm pretty sure it was like a home run or something, and Bryce Harper was on there in the top 10. And then the next play, it was me. And so I was like, wait, like that's kind of
I'm
cool.
right next to Bryce Harper.
And so then I was like telling everybody in Buffalo Wild Wings, I was like, that's me. Like that's literally me up there. And so that was probably my most my favorite play. But I had a really good play this year against Texas A&M. It was a line drive down the line, and we ended up winning that game. And I think it definitely saved a couple of runs coming across and got us back in there, got us hot, and let us go on a little offensive run. So I was excited about that one too.
Nice. Okay, favorite team memory outside of softball?
Oh, goodness. I don't know if I could talk about these. Let's see. My favorite memory, I want to say, honestly, just like football is so different in the SEC. And so I want to say the entire fall, just like spending the entire fall with the team, being able to tailgate and go to the football games. And the fall is like a grind for spring sports. So we're like really going through it in the fall, and just being able to have those weekends with the girls, and it's not like a trauma bond, but like it's seriously like you're going through it, and so being able to like,
it is a trauma bond, honestly.
Yeah. So like coming together on the weekends and just really enjoying ourselves and getting to be just regular athletes on the weekend.
Yeah. I've never experienced SEC football.
You have to.
But we rushed the field our first game this past fall. We beat Clemson. That was ranked.
Right.
And that was an awesome memory.
Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to do that.
Last memory lane. Most embarrassing softball story. Everyone has one.
Yeah, so this one's super easy for me. My most embarrassing softball memory to this date is we were at Auburn, and it was not last year, but the year before last, so my actual senior year of college, not my COVID year. We were playing at Auburn, and they hit a ball, and it was literally a ball at the wall, easy, like robbed home run ball, like set up perfectly, textbook for me. We practice wall balls every day. I'm like, I got it, whatever. So I'm like running back to catch the ball, and I like reach, it was on this side, so I'm like reaching over to my like throw inside, and I catch the ball, right? So I'm at the wall, so I like jump and like catch the ball, and then I smack the fence, and the ball falls out of my glove. And you can attach this clip too if you can find it, because it's honestly so funny. The ball is rolling at the top of the fence and then falls over.
No, it's a home run?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And you can just like see me sitting there looking up at the fence like this.
So you kind of put it out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm pretty sure it made Sports Center not top 10. So, yeah.
At least you made it.
Yeah.
I had one. We talked about it in season 1. But I hit a ball into like left center, and it scored a run, but I didn't see the girl catch it. And I sprinted, like I got a double, and I did this huge celebration and everything. And the umpire's like, "You're out." And I was like, and then the whole, all the fans were just laughing at me.
That is so funny.
Well, speaking about memories, we're kind of in the midst of creating them right now.
Yeah.
But like together as teammates, which is kind of crazy. For those who are listening and don't know much about the WPF, our season opener was this past weekend where we played the Texas Smoke, and we'll go on till about mid-August playing the 4 teams that are here in Texas. And to recap, we're a new team, okay? We're a new team. Smoke has been established. They won the WPF last year. So we did win one of the 4-game series. So we went 1-3. And I think we learned a lot about ourselves.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. We're just kind of figuring ourselves out.
Yeah.
You know, their lineup was kind of consistent. Ours was still moving all
Right,
over the
yeah.
place. So good thing about the WPF is there's no regular season champion like there is in like any other SEC or ACC tournament. There's a regular season and a tournament champion. Here there's just one big champion. So really we can go for the whole damn season and win the last 4 and be the
Right,
champs.
yeah.
So that might be the plan. Well, how has pro ball been so far for you?
Honestly, it's just been such a great experience because after I finished college softball, I was like, I'm done playing, you know, and I was kind of content with that. Like I was kind of like, you know, like I've
had your
done my
time.
time. I've played on the biggest stage in college softball. Well, I didn't play the World Series, but you know, like I played like for the in the SEC. So I was content with my time. I was content, and then Alex reached out to me and asked if I'd ever consider playing professionally, and I was like, oh my gosh, like yeah, I'd love to. So I mean, I'm just so grateful for the experience and Alex reaching out and trusting in me to be a part of this team.
Shout out Alex.
Yeah,
We got to get Alex Powers on the pod.
I know.
What has been the biggest difference from college to pro? So you mentioned like the fall was just like a boot camp. You know, you had lift and workouts and classes. So what's the schedule and time here in pro compared to college?
So in college, it's more of like a set schedule. You really have somebody like over you and telling you what to do 24/7. And in pro, it's not like that. So it's very individualized, and you have to kind of do stuff on your own, which I enjoy. I think I've came to you know, like it a lot more than having somebody kind of over me, and not that it felt like forceful, but you know, like you like had to do this and had to do this.
Well,
and,
we're kind of like old enough, you know.
Yeah.
If you make it to this point in softball in your career, you don't really need someone really on top
like
of you.
micromanaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Making sure you do all the things. So like our warm-ups, everyone just gets what they need.
Yeah.
Practices, you kind of tell the coaches what you want.
Right. Yeah.
If you want a chill day, you get a chill day.
Right.
So preparation for games is definitely more individualized.
Yeah,
I'd say for me,
100%.
all I really need to do in practice is like throw downs if like, or catch a bullpen if I'm not really seeing a pitcher correctly.
Right. Yeah. And we're also playing like almost every day of the week. So
Yeah. We play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
right.
So you can check out our games on YouTube. I'll tag that in the description below. But in college, we also play for the Women's College World Series. It's weird that we don't really have that. Do you like this type of setup?
I think I do, because obviously us being a first year team, and this week was the first time that we were all truly on the field together, you know, and like figuring things out, and having like this week is our first like real intentional practices of like we see what we need to work on in a game. So I think that's a good setup for us.
Yeah.
And just how our team is formed, and you know what we've been doing. So I'm excited
Yeah,
for it.
and it's loose. It like
Yeah.
reminds me of travel ball almost,
Yeah.
and it's like fun, exciting, and
right.
there's no,
'Cause
really no
almost
rules.
in college, it feels like you're playing to not lose.
Yeah.
So you're like walking on eggshells.
Yeah,
I'm
like you don't want to make a mistake
Yeah.
to like lose your spot, you
Yeah.
know, but here it's like you're going to play.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how we're playing with people that we've been rivals against for the past 4
yeah.
years. Like Devin Flaherty from FSU is now my teammate. You have Jada Kearney from
Yeah.
Georgia, who you guys. So how is it playing playing with your ex rival?
Yeah. So you like always, obviously, you know who these girls are. You've watched countless of hours of film on these girls. You've played them a million times. And I would say we've known each other like personally for like a week, right?
Yeah.
Like we've literally only known each other for a week. And I could not imagine like not knowing y'all.
I know.
Like I feel like we've all just like clicked so well. And so like, I mean, I'm so thankful that I get to play with them and Jada, and just obviously watching her through her career at Georgia. I mean, it was amazing. I would like fangirl over her and stuff. One
Yeah.
time we played them at Georgia, and she literally hit like 30 home runs against us. And I was just like, okay, like, you know, you can't be
Oh, yeah,
mad.
pop
You're like,
off.
pop off, whatever. But
And she's the sweetest soul.
oh,
Now
I
getting
know,
to know
yeah.
her, it's so crazy how you like see someone on TV and like, oh, you kind of have you have an impression,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, for sure.
And it's funny to see who they actually are. And she's
Yeah.
the sweetest. Yeah. But similar to Duke, so when I was at Duke, we were kind of like creating the foundation because it was a super new program. And like we're on the first Monarchs team ever. So who knows where this can go?
Right.
It's super cool. And I wanted to ask you, since we're all coming from different teams, different cultures, and obviously every single one of us were leaders on the teams that we were at, how is it, or how do you see our culture coming together with all these different pieces of college ball from different places?
Yeah, I think that the good thing about pro is that we're all here for the same reason and the right reason. And we want to continue to grow this game and grow women's professional fast pitch. And I think we've honestly done so good at doing that and executing that. And so it's so fun to be around people that you share the same interests with, like truly share the same interests with, and you all have the same goals.
Yeah. And it's funny because we're like figuring out our little groove. Like
Yeah.
Laywa Day from Sacramento State. She like, I feel like a big thing about playing is when you come off the field and then
Yeah.
you meet before you hit and you kind of regroup.
Yeah.
And she like took charge of that. And Piper's really taken charge of like being the mom. And
Yeah.
like everyone's kind of leading in their own way. So if you haven't watched this, you really should. It's fun. But you talk about growing the sport.
Yeah.
And so this is where I kind of want to hear some opinions because I have opinions on this.
Okay.
About the future of softball and how there's like 3 different leagues. Like if you look at baseball, there's no such thing as 7 different leagues and you have affiliation with 2 of them, but not the other. And like, I just want to hear what you have to say about that and what you think we should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, one day we can combine all the leagues and just have a big like professional softball league, and there's not going to be like all the different, like we said, the 3 leagues, and then there's like a spin-off league of one, and it's just like it's kind of confusing. Honestly, I get confused trying to explain it to other people, so I could only imagine people that don't really know softball trying to understand professional softball. And then I've had people before be like, wait, like there's professional softball? And
It
I'm
makes
like,
no sense.
what? Yeah.
It makes no sense if you want to grow the sport to have competing leagues.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't even say competing because I don't feel like we're like,
No, yeah.
yeah, but
It's like different formats, different, like, so no, I think that it would be so cool to kind of get like a MLB type structure, maybe with some feed-in teams to the biggest like, organization, team. I think that would be awesome, and such a step up from, where we're at right now.
Yeah. Well, what's great is we have this maybe tiny platform
Yeah.
where we can talk about these things. Because if it's about money, let's combine it. If it's about sponsorship, combine it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Well, the future in softball may also lie within NIL. And we will get into that because Brylie St. Clair definitely has capitalized on it. But before we do, I want to make sure you guys know that this episode is brought to you by the Softball Sanctuary. Use code SPEAKEASY for 10% off all their training programs and products at thesoftballsanctuary.com. Again, code SPEAKEASY for 10% off at thesoftballsanctuary.com. So, we're talking about NIL. There's a lot of opinions in the world about like saying it's changing college sports and, it's bad for business, but you're on the other side. What do you say or what do you feel about NIL?
So when NIL first started, I think it was all just so new and like nobody really knew what was going on. I'm grateful for NIL. It completely changed my life. I'm forever grateful for NIL and having that opportunity to build a platform through my sport and be able to capitalize off of that. So I'm a full supporter of NIL. I do think, though, on the flip side, so kind of just seeing like both sides of the story is that I think that NIL is going to have some regulations to keep competition fair.
Yeah.
So I think that there are going to have to be some rules and some regulations inputted just for recruiting reasons, if that makes sense.
So you think people are not being recruited to schools and like, I don't know, we'll give you this X amount of money in deals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then those colleges, I mean, I know Duke probably doesn't have anything compared to Mississippi State because it's a
and then
private
it's hard
small
to
school.
keep up with like Texas A&M, Texas, you know, like these
Yeah.
like bigger now SEC schools that Texas has moved into the
Yeah.
SEC. So I mean, it's good. And I can't say that if I was in that position that I would not go where the money is, you know? But just thinking about how my recruitment process was and just like how I fell in love with the university, and it made me want to compete for them. Like it made me want to play for them more, that I truly had that bond with the university and with the people there. And obviously I feel like if I was getting paid the whatever amounts of money that these people are getting paid, that like the money would be that factor for me. But then you truly like don't have that love and passion for the university that you're at. So that's really the only downside that I see to NIL is that, you know, people are just chasing money and you know, that's fine. I would do it too. But then you lose that like true passion for the university.
I wonder if there's a way that you can have both.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I'm sure that there is. But I feel like in more cases than not, people are just
Chasing money.
Yeah.
Cleat chasers out here. Well, what are some, if you could share, deals that you have had that are super cool?
Okay, so the most recent deal that I've gotten is with Bruce Bolt. And yeah, we're wearing their gear right now.
We're repping it right now.
Everybody should definitely go and get some. We have a link that you can check out.
We'll tag it in the description below.
I'm super thankful for them and getting to meet their whole team, getting to go to the warehouse, checking out some things. We may or may not have an announcement coming up, so stay tuned for that. It's just been awesome. It's honestly been so nice to kind of be able to control my deals, because I had an agent for a while, and when I had an agent, I found that I just wasn't as passionate about doing deals.
Yeah.
And now I can kind of like, I'm more in control of that, and like I can do things that I am passionate about and that I actually want to do. And so like this, I mean, the partnership with Bruce Bolt has just been awesome, and you know, they've really helped us out get going into season.
Really
so
have.
We're so thankful for them. They're great people. Y'all check out the link, and
Yeah. So like Brylie was saying, she's literally like our sugar mama. We've been teammates for a week, and she's already hit like Bruce Bowl with Brylie, has already given our team batting gloves. I mean, look at this cool hat I'm wearing. So it's super cool to at least be on a team with you and like experience all this, because you're such a sharer. Like, you know, it's not like you're like, this is my deal. Like Brylie was like, oh my God, this Bruce Bolt thing is coming. Why don't you come out with your teammates? And that's super awesome how you share it with everyone.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other like cool deals? I know you were wearing Oakley's at one time.
So when we were Mississippi State, so when we were playing at Mississippi State, the local like glasses store, I guess. They had sunglasses and glasses, and the eyewear store, that's the name, the eyewear store. Okay. So we did a little collaboration with them, and so my 4th and 5th year, they supplied the entire team and coaching staff with Oakley's. So that was one of my more like rewarding deals, was to be in there and like see the team like get to pick out like what Oakley's they wanted, getting to like tell the coaches like, yeah, go and like get you a pair of sunglasses, you know. And so like, and those are pretty expensive sunglasses, so it was fun to be able to have that deal too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you had the power to change something about all this, what would you do?
I think that I would have wanted to capitalize more on it while I was in college. But there was a time where, and you know, people don't really talk about like the lows, but there was a time where I honestly just wasn't happy. And then on top of that, NIL felt more like an obligation than something that I wanted to do. So if I could go back and change anything, it would just be that period of time where obviously, you know, things just weren't going exactly how I wanted them to go. And then I kind of let that affect everything else, you know?
Yeah, I feel that, especially in college.
Yeah.
It's like you have school and it just, everything starts feeling like a burden. Yeah. And it's not like you can be like, I want an off day, because you can't.
No, yeah.
So I feel that. And then everything just starts piling on.
Right, yeah.
It's being human, literally being human. We did have a listener question from my good friend Sarah Sotorakis. What's the best part about playing on a team that has players from the top colleges?
I think just like knowing y'all, like not really knowing y'all in college, but knowing who you were and like watching each of you, and then now I get to like be on a team with y'all after I've watched y'all have such like successful years in college, and now I get to like enjoy that and like watch that in person, but from like a teammate perspective. So I think that is really cool.
Yeah. Well, you say like you've watched or kind of known of me. What was your like idea of who I was?
So I watched your interview at the College World Series.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's so cute. I was like, oh, that was like really cute.
At first I was kind of cringed out by it because I'm like, why do I always, when things get serious, I talk like super poetically. Like everything just means so much. And I was like, oh my God, should I collab with this? But that's funny.
You did really good. It was cute.
Well, when I knew we were going to be teammates, I had already followed you on Instagram because you're like, I don't know. If people think of softball, I feel like you're one of the top names that people know. And so I already knew of you, and I just thought like you were kind of like, I don't even know how to explain this, like the influencer of softball, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to ask you a question about that. It's really cool to be feminine in sport, and you do that.
Yeah.
Have you ever had backlash of it?
Yeah, actually a lot, honestly. So, and like still to this day, like I have my own opinions about how being a female in athletics is just really hard to do, because people like look at you for the wrong reasons. So people are going to base their opinions of you off of your appearance.
Yeah.
And obviously if that's coming from specifically older men that like don't watch the sport, they're going to be like, well, this is why we don't watch softball, or blah, you know, just like stupid stuff like that. But mostly the comments that get to me are the ones about like my body, or about like why I'm playing the sport, or like I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. And so like I love to share content. I love to share my life with you guys. And I think that when I do share more personal things, or like if I'm like sharing vacation pictures or sharing like stuff like that, because I do want to be so open with everyone, and then getting comments like that, like just, you know, comments about my body. And like, I know you're like, people are probably like, well, if you don't want them, then don't post them. But it's still like I want to share these things. And then like, I don't want to be seen as an object, if that makes sense.
Yeah, people forget we're also 20s. Like, this is the time we're supposed to go out and have fun. I mean, I wonder what they were doing in their 20s. These people were coming.
Yeah. But then they like see these pictures too, and they're like, oh, well, like you can't be good at softball.
Yeah, because you're so pretty or so hot. Oh my God.
Like you wear fingernails. Like you can't play softball, you know? Or people say, I don't wear makeup, y'all, when I play. Like it is a very like rare occasion when I put on a full face of makeup to play. And like the second that I do though, like you would think like the world's ending. Yeah. Like why are you wearing that much makeup to play? Like, you know, like it's just like those comments that are so stupid, and it's just those bother me the most though, for sure.
Have you had like a scary story that has happened to you, or?
Yeah, actually. So one time, well, this one isn't like, it wasn't scary because their like intentions were pure, I guess. These people saw me on TikTok, and they were from Pennsylvania. And they drove from Pennsylvania to Starkville to watch like a weekend
how far is that drive?
I have no idea. But it like at first I was like, what? Like, whoa, you know, like that's crazy. But then it was like, oh, that's like sweet, you know, like, and that's like what it's all about. I have had some pretty scary encounters. One time I used to have my name on my license plate. Don't do that. Like it was like the thing in high school, and like it was so cool to have your name on your, don't do that. And obviously driving around Starkville, so somebody followed me like walked in, like went to Starbucks, and they like followed me to Starbucks, and like I got out of Starbucks because the line was long, and like went in, they like followed me inside. And so that, you know, it could have been worse, but like nothing happened. But that's like, that's scary. So I called my dad, and I was like, like I'm getting a new tag right now.
What can you say to these haters online, and even the people who are following you into Starbucks? Like, what would you say to them right now?
Honestly, this is gonna sound so bad, but I really don't care.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like the initial reaction, like you see it and you want to respond, or you see it and then you'll think about it for a little bit, and it's just like, oh, people were saying that I wear eyelashes, so like I probably can't like play softball, and it's just like stupid. Because like if you're gonna like take the time to comment, take the time to watch a game, you know? Like, they just sound ignorant.
F the haters. That's what I have to say.
Literally.
Well, guys, sadly, this episode is coming to an end, and it's been a great first episode of season 2, in my opinion. I wanted to end with like a fun, quick segment of this or that. So, would you do visor behind the ear or over? Over? Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Rain is really a big behind the ear, and I'm like, girl, yeah, no.
Well, my ears are like tiny, so
Yeah,
I feel like
I
that
also
it
think
wouldn't
it's
even
cuter.
like. Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, bow, ribbon, or just straight pony?
So right now, actually, now I'm gonna get really feminine on you guys. I don't have my extensions in, and I'm getting my extensions in Tuesday. And I normally wear a ribbon. I do wear a ribbon.
I haven't seen a ribbon yet.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't been because I've just not been whatever with my hair. But when I get my extensions in, I'll probably wear a ribbon.
Yeah. I do a ribbon sometimes, but I like to curl my ponytail.
Yeah.
It's funny because like people are like, why are you curling your hair before playing a game where you're going to get all sweaty?
No, I always
right?
do. Yeah.
It's cute. All right.
And you have to like look good, feel good, play good.
Exactly the same point. That's how I live my life. Okay, white cleats or colored?
White cleats.
Same. Leggings under the pants or Nike Pros?
Oh my gosh.
It's a big one.
Leggings.
I'm a Nike Pro person.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I guess it looks better because you don't really see the line.
Yeah.
So for those who don't understand, softball players don't just wear softball pants. Like we wear something underneath, and it's usually spandex or full-on leggings.
Yeah, I wear leggings.
And a lot of people at Duke, no one does. I think only one person did, and she
Yeah.
like transferred. But
I
like,
know Devin wears leggings.
Yeah, a
but
lot
I
of
don't
people
like,
wear them.
like softball pants touching my skin because they're
Oh,
like so hard.
yeah.
And I also don't want to get like
rash or
yeah.
something.
And when I sweat.
Yeah. I guess for me, my thought process is like, I don't want to squat with
Yeah.
like 2 pairs of pants on.
No, yeah, we're in completely different situations here.
Okay. Favorite way to get on base?
Oh my gosh, I love a good bunt.
Yeah.
But I think now I'm more like focused on like line drives through the infield.
Okay.
So it always feels good when you get the outcome that you want. And I think that that's something that I've just been working on literally for like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even tell y'all. And so like getting like the 2 hits that I had this week, like the line drive, they were like, it was so rewarding. So those.
Yeah. My favorite, I know this is going to sound funny, but I love getting hit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I love getting hit and then just like not flinching at all. And like I do this funny. I didn't get hit yet this week, so you won't see. But I like stay there for a second.
Yeah.
And then I just full sprint down to
A
first.
hard 60.
Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, guys, I need to tag this in because like I stole home this past weekend, but you know how I slid and stayed there? Yeah. I don't know why I do that. In every situation, I pause.
It was so funny. It was like Michael Jackson.
I know. I got to tag that in. I think that might have been one of my favorite base running things I've ever done.
That is so funny.
Okay, to wrap it up, do you have any softball icks?
I think Neavage.
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 Yeah. I'm trying to think. I really don't like when there's like an obvious strike and like the hitters like nods.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like
sometimes when it's an obvious strike on me, I'm literally telling myself that I'm like stupid. Like if it's like a ball, like a strike right down the middle and I'm like, oh. Like I'll like say like, oh, you know, because I'm like, why did you just watch that go right down the middle, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know when people are like,
yeah, that's my softball ick.
That's so funny.
Well, thank you so much for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Watch us on YouTube, listen, like, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And please make sure to follow us at SB Speakeasy on all social media platforms. Thank you, and catch you guys next week on the pod. Peace.
Yay!
That's awesome. Oh, wait, like.